Now, you would have seen in recent months there's been a big debate around Māori wards. The local councils having the dedicated Māori ward, so there's always a Māori councillor there, directly through the guarantee through the Māori ward. Now, this has worked really well for a lot of councils, and when it came time to say, are we going to vote for them or against them, due to the government's push, most of the council, I think all but two, said no, we're keeping them. We actually we thought we were a very conservative council, but we've done the business with iwi now for some time, and the thought of kicking them out of here, it just doesn't wash well with us, so we're going to keep them. But not so much in Kaipara. Kaipara Mayor Craig Jessup said, no, we don't want it, we don't need it, we don't want it, we're not going to have it. We're not going to have it, he said. So they voted against it, and it's formally come to an end now, the relationship with the local iwi. Antony Thompson is trustee for Te Uri o Hou Settlement Trust, and joins us now. Antony, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the program.
Kia ora, Duncan.
What does it mean now then? So I think the whole thing's really unfortunate that that's happened this way, and I just think it's a retrograde step, backwards step. Why are we coming to the end of these relationships when we should be forging ahead and building stronger relationships? But anyway, this is what they've done. So what does it mean now for you guys?
Oh, Duncan, it's absolutely unbelievable what's happened, and yet it's happened. And it's not just, the removal of the Māori ward from Kaipara Council or the Kaipara District. This has been going on for a few years now. And a bit of context, we had the karakia protest when the mayor decided to remove karakia from council meetings and, having a karakia at the beginning and end of the council meeting. Now, it doesn't matter if it's in Te Reo Māori, it doesn't matter if it's in English, it doesn't matter if it's religious or not. To open a meeting is really important. It's part of who we are in our structure in society. So, it really began with the karakia debate. We had about 300 or 400 people protest on that day, straight to the mayor saying, this isn't good enough. We've got a process that we've worked from. So for us, it really began with the karakia protest. And then, moving on, for a bit more context, the disestablishment of some of our committees where Te Uri o Hou and the council work together in unison. Again, that working together was fragmented and destroyed by the mayor. A good example is with Te Uri o Hou. We had a co-committee at Dāgabo called Poutu Te Rangi, and it was where the landowners, the Harding family, a beautiful family, local, they've been in the district for eons, and they've worked with Māori forever and a day to look after their property. It's an old power site. So there's a tikanga value to it for Māori, but at the same time, the Harding family, they've farmed that property for years. So the relationship that we had together was unanimous. And the new mayor came in and basically disestablished that committee to manage that site. That hit us hard. The next thing that happened was a fund called Better Off Funding. Our hapu had worked with council and the community to decide on where that funding goes to. And we had decided as a community in Dāgabo to put that funding towards upgrading our libraries, putting a business centre in, and making sure that the community were looked after. All of a sudden, this year, we start getting calls from the council to change our view and our lens and our vote to move that funding to development in Mangawhai, to start creating some extra development in Mangawhai. And it just begged belief why the change happened. Then next was the disestablishment of the Māori ward. That hit us harder again. We've been working with council for the last how many years, and we've worked together in unison. We worked together to put the Māori ward together. We worked together to maintain and monitor it, and then it was disestablished. So, it's not just this one instance of the MOU being disestablished. It's an ongoing program of disestablishment for Māori in the Kaipara.
I find it, in the year 2024, I find it such a retrograde step because as a councillor in a council you have to have relationships with everyone in your area. That's just the way it is. And consultation's the modern thing we do now, and so you have to have consultation with iwi, and you have to have a relationship with your local iwi. I mean, you must do. This is part of who we are. You have to have a relationship with other minority communities in the area, a relationship with business, a relationship with people who manage the water, whatever it is. This is just life as and having consensus in the area. And do you think about it? 200 years. When was the treaty signed? 1840. So you think about it almost 200 years ago. If you thought, in 180 years' time, 190 years' time, on from 1840, this sort of thing would be happening. It would be remarkable. I expected this sort of thing to happen maybe in 1870, 1880 during some of the wars, but in 2024, like this could go this could go down. This could go down a bit like what happened 100 years ago. When they said you can't speak your language in the schools or whatever. I mean, I regard it as quite serious.
It's exactly that. There is a pattern of destruction that's happening right now. And we often get asked, what value do you bring to the community? And to be honest, all of what you've said, we have expertise. We've got locals who've been there for eons. We've got old families that work, live and play in the Kaipara. The expertise is phenomenal. To add to that, iwi and hapu have business. We've got forestry. We've just opened up our new horticultural business units at the water storage facility in Dargaville. So Dargaville has created a water storage facility where businesses have bought land around that water storage unit. We're one of those landowners. We're one of the larger landowners. Our dairy farms, our dry stock units, our sheep and beef, our forestry, our primary industry, that's all centred around the Kaipara, is what makes us part of that community on a business level. On a social level, we've also got health and wellbeing units. We've got nurse and doctor clinics. We're one of the larger employers in the Kaipara as well. Bar the Meatworks, who is the largest employer in Dargaville, we're about number 3 or 4 on that list of employers. Our nursing teams, our medical staff, our social service teams, we are part of that community, and yet we are being treated like second-class citizens. So what will change now? So I read earlier this morning that it will become more expensive for the council to do business with iwi because you don't have an agreement with each other, so you're not going to go and do all this work for free for council. So they'll come to you and then you'll bill them or something. Is it going to be more expensive for the local council to do business with you guys and you with them, or how's it going to work? Our belief it is going to be more expensive, and I look at it this way. When Cyclone Gabrielle hit us last year, our iwi and hapu response was amazing. The resources that we put into the community, the resources that we used within the community helped that flood response. Now, I accept that the East Coast got the biggest part of any support funding and even, the media response. What a lot of people don't know is Dargaville in particular was underwater for 5 days. We lost our national kumara crop. Our own crop was ruined. It was just bad luck and timing. We were due to cultivate and to harvest our kumara crops a week after Gabrielle. That's how tight that deadline was. So for us, it came back to going back into the community, using our philanthropic support to help the community. Now, yes, we don't currently charge the council one-off contract fees, etc. We have the agreement. And it's not a big agreement, but now this leaves us in a new position where do we have to invoice for everything? And we don't believe it's not about money, it's about the support back to the community. How are the community going to be better off from the support that we offer?
So it'll cost ratepayers more. This is just ridiculous.